What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, and as I'm sure many of you saw yesterday, Tom Holland taking to Instagram to reveal what is easily the first and clearest look at Spider-Man 3, confirming the return of the same suit from Spider-Man Far From Home. But what many didn't notice, and it took a couple of eagle-eyed Redditors to point out, is there is a mystery character that very much looks like he's in costume, standing to the right of this photo and almost all the way out of frame, immediately begging the question, who could this character be in context with what we already know about Spider-Man 3. We're going to go ahead and weigh in and run down the list of likely candidates, for which there are many, a couple of villains, a couple of superheroes, maybe even something else. We're going to break it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We're still giving away this insane 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray Bill and our third and final Infinity Saga box set. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, and if you want, stick around at the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So when first this was pointed out, there were a lot of great, well, and should I say not so great guesses online and Reddit, and I would like to allow that perhaps this is someone behind the scenes, either a stagehand, someone holding a camera, and they have to maybe hold a prop or so, but why would you be dressed in a long trench coat? That doesn't seem to make sense for any reason, and if you were doing any sort of motion capture or anything to do with CGI, you wouldn't be dressed in that either. Many people also pointed out that with the thumb holes and all, this definitely looks specifically like costuming, not something you would be wearing by choice, because of course on set it would be super warm. You wouldn't want to be wearing long sleeves like that either. So ruling out that this is someone working behind the scenes or behind the camera on the production itself, a lot of people on Reddit were quick to point out that this could easily be Doctor Strange or something to do with Doctor Strange, as he was to head and film his scenes first before heading to London to film Doctor Strange 2. Now, outside of being able to confirm that, as it's changed quite a bit, there's been no word of Benedict Cumberbatch arriving to be on set to film his scenes. And also, if you notice, to be fair, he's always wearing the exact same costuming, that blue underneath the red robe, and this doesn't really look anything like that. While they may be filming his scene soon, it's pretty sure that this is not that. My immediate thought is this could be Nick Fury, and I guess there's a lot of support for that. He's always been on the scene for Spider-Man, well, at least since Spider-Man Far From Home. Then again, it wasn't really him anyway, it was Talos, but you'd like to think that eventually Nick Fury himself would step in and introduce himself, especially since now we know he's off of vacation on the sword base, and considering that very scene took place in a Spider-Man Far From Home post-credit scene, there's a good chance it would hang over, and now that Tony Stark is gone and the Avengers are maybe perhaps still disassembled, Spider-Man might be a likely outreach. It's also going to be the case now with Mysterio having pinned all of these murders on him that he's going to need some help from Nick Fury, and you would think Nick Fury, knowing better than that, wouldn't leave him stranded, considering Talos is going to explain everything that happened. Now, going one step further than that, there are some interesting villains from the Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery that all do wear sort of this leather trench coat look. While some of them may be a little early on the scene who don't make sense, and we'll get to those at the end, there's one from an alternate cinematic universe who rocked the leather trench coat look perfectly, none other than Dr. Otto Octavius. How can anyone forget this look from the original Spider-Man trilogy, which has been on the tip of everyone's tongue since we've been talking about the option of a Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield into the Spider-Verse. No, I am not saying that Alfred Molina's Dr. Octavius is going to show up in the MCU or anything like it, or even if they did him, that they would borrow any of the costuming techniques. But man, you have to think, especially with the thumb holes, this sort of matches what was going on with him back in the day, and it really put us in mind of that original Spider-Man 3 set photo that got leaked by a production worker just a couple of weeks back on his Instagram, letting us see the entirety of this set that looks a lot like a laboratory, putting us in mind of either Oscorp and Norman Osborn, or of course Dr. Otto Octavius, Dr. Octopus himself. But regardless, it's impossible to tell from just one sleeve, and while it doesn't look like there are a lot of extras around, or this is a scene that would call for extras, and if that is costuming, it means that it's somebody. I think Nick Fury is the most likely peg for this. What he'll be doing with Spider-Man, most likely helping him navigate how to have this pinned on him, and of course he could tell everybody what was going on. As I just mentioned, Talos is going to be able to explain everything firsthand, but the problem is that he's basically been the bastion of anonymity going all the way back to when he faked his own death in Winter Soldier. Remember the long-standing theory that he's actually been a Skrull the rest of the way, including Age of Ultron when he shows up. There's a chance he doesn't want to break that anonymity just yet, which means even though everyone would trust him and he'd be able to vouch, he doesn't want to come out of hiding yet, and he's not willing to do it in order to clear Spider-Man's name. Either way, guys, it's really hard to pin this just on one sleeve, and of course, if there was any way they didn't want you to know who this was or leave us guessing, they would have made sure to have cropped it out of the photo. I think this was on purpose. I just think it may lead to a dead end until we know a little more about what's going on. That being said, there is one other villain I will leave you with that normally wears a nice long trench coat. That could be none other than Morbius, and even though in some depictions that coat is cut off at the sleeve, either on the bicep or a little bit higher, it's impossible to imagine Morbius without the long leather trench coat. And yeah, while I'm totally willing to concede that Sony could have waited for Adrian Toome's Vulture Easter egg for even a second trailer and went ahead and crammed it in the very first one, that they are dying to cross Venom and Morbius into Spider-Man as fast as they can, and with Morbius the Living Vampire and Venom 2 set to release this year, they could easily lead in. I'm just not willing to concede that they are going to put either of those characters in the finishing trilogy movie set in the MCU, with as much narrative as set left for Tom Holland's Peter Parker to cover in lieu of everything that's already happened. I can't see them introducing Sony-verse villains that only have one movie to their franchise. They don't even know how they're going to do. There's no way Kevin Feige is going to let those characters in. Either way, if there's a villain that you've thought of, and there are a couple I haven't mentioned that wear a trench coat you think this could be, or any other character that makes sense for the narrative, I think we've covered all bases, but let me know your thoughts. And of course, as soon as Tom Holland or anybody else posts any more set photos, we will immediately cover those, as well as the rest of the Spider-Man 3 news cycle, which is definitely well underway. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away this insane 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray Bill at 750,000 subscribers. We should easily hit that by the end of the year. All you have to do to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment down below, and that'll automatically enter you to win all the rest of the prizes here at the channel, like this third and final Infinity Saga box set. We gave 2 away at the beginning of the year. We're giving this one away on New Year's Eve, regardless of the subscriber count. If you want to be entered to win the Beta Ray Bill, this Infinity Saga box set, or any of the other prizes we give away here at the channel, when we finally give away those PlayStation 5s once we get them in hand, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button to make sure you're a subscriber at the channel, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Make sure to hit the notification bell with notifications turned on to keep up with the content. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video or the content here at the channel, make sure to hit the like button. If you've missed any of the previous winner announcements, no worries, all you have to do is go back to the channel, look for winner announcement and the sub count in the title. My name's Michael Roman. If you guys want to follow me one step further, you can find me on Instagram at IamFires, or over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Nvellen, NVELLEN. There's links down in the description to both. Thanks for checking out the channel. Stick around, guys. We'll be posting again real soon.